Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Yay, it is my Saturday. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea and another Not Stupid O'Clock. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. And folks, we are finally near the end of Judge Bernstein's so-called PR stunt of a report on the JRC. So we're going back to that nightmare hellhole of a place. But before we get started, of course, the usual disclaimers. First off, you are going to find this report as well as other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign on the Autistic Hoya's massive archive, linked as always in the number 2 spot right there in the description box. Also included is the templates. We are trying to end improper restraints and ban the use of adversive therapies, also known as punishment for people existing while disabled, from all schools. Please, folks, sign the petitions. Also, click on the links. There are other very pertinent campaigns out there, and including one of the most important, the struggle to get people with disabilities out of the poverty line by giving us actual livable wages, those of us who at least have to partially use Social Security due to disabilities. It's time we stop punishing people for being disabled, okay? Also included is the ever-present change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Because quite frankly, folks, after years and years and decades of fighting this place, pretty much all of us have come to the conclusion at this point is that the only way these kids are ever going to be safe, and the only way people who live in the areas surrounding the JRC are ever going to be able to live without fear of being shoved into that place is to shut this place down forever. So please assist us in making this place a nightmare footnote in history. Okay, folks, we are talking about the JRC. And when we do, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of, and sometimes seen clips of video surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused, as well as hearing some of the harrowing, nightmarish accounts of the survivors of this place. Folks, we do suggest, at the very least, if you have young ones present, that you use your headphones. I also suggest, if you can, to get away to a side room. As important as I think this is, I really don't want children being exposed to it. It is the stuff of nightmares. All right, folks. Also, it may not be stupid o'clock, but we all know me. And when it comes to this place, I get so angry. That's one of my most favorite autism features tends to pop out, in which case there are either a line of explicitives that would make a sailor blush, or I stumble over my words horribly, or I stare off into the space because the level of stupid is so great that my mind just like explodes for a moment. So, my apologies for all of that in advance. Okay, we are going to Judge Bernstein's conclusion. Oh God. So, folks, roll back your shoulders. If you need to, please pause at this moment. Go make yourself some chamomile tea, kava tea, get yourself some St. John's wort extract, whatever you need to do to make sure you have yourself a calming hot beverage, because the stupid is getting ready to happen, all right? Okay, so if you've come back, good. Let's go ahead and get to this conclusion. I'm taking a drink of my calming tea right now. Just in preparation. This is where we left off yesterday, by the way, sorry. In conclusion, It should be noted that the JRC has made genuine and significant strides in amending its policies, procedures, and training to ensure the safety of the JRC students. I have never seen someone try to blow that much smoke up my ass in my entire life. And my God, I followed that freaking JD versus AH case. There are so many lies in that opening stupid. Ugh, God. That's what I meant, by the way. That is just a mind blowing, so many lies in one sentence. One sentence. I don't think the JRC is actually genuine about anything except their goddamn bank account. I'm just saying. The only thing they care about, if they care about anything at all, is their bank account. All right? Spare me, Judge. Significant strides. What strides? Have they removed the GEDs from their students? Have they stopped starving them, calling it a food contingency plan? Have they stopped any adversive punishments for people acting as their neurological issues are having them act? Have they stopped using behavioral methods to treat neurological conditions? If the answers to all of these questions is a huge, resounding no, then it is, in conclusion, Judge, they haven't changed anything at all. Except maybe they are now more aware of things they must do, thanks to your ass, to cover their own shit. Moving forward, amending its policies and procedures and training. This is so much of a joke, I can't even see straight. Their policies that they so called amended, Judge, was done. It's all superficial and artificial. Okay? What does that mean, folks? It means that they now cross all their T's, dot all their I's, and do everything that they can to act within the law and play within the law. Guess what? The law in Massachusetts or any of these students who are coming in from other state areas, it's not protecting the students, okay? Procedures. Spare me, Judge. Fucking spare me. But we follow all protocols. They followed all the protocols when they were burning witches at the stake or hanging them in Salem. Do me a favor, Judge. Go study the Salem witch trials. Because your conclusion is that if it's court ordered and you are put in your paperwork and you're acting within the law, then it is absolutely moral, okay, and good. And yet, on your docket record, inside your own state, you had the Salem witch trials where innocent people were hanged for being different. The only thing different now is you've changed from hunting down witches to hunting down and punishing disabled people. So, inadvertently, you really haven't changed much at all. You just use different labels now. And training. Oh my God, that is the biggest joke of all. Of all. Have they extended the training period to so that it matches the other 50 states here in the union? No. Have they done anything to actually make it a true program to obtain certification that any of the other 50 states would accept should that person move to go work in another facility? No. It is still 3 weeks long. You are still taking teenagers out of high school who aren't even wet behind the ears yet giving them a freaking 3-week crash course, and then throwing them amongst a vulnerable population with which they have minimal, if any, experience at all. And you are also telling them in that 3-week fucking period that they are to treat people with mental illness issues and neurological conditions completely the same, and that somehow this is going to help them. It is a joke, Judge. It is a joke. No mentor program can fix the level of stupid that the JRC is pumping into these kids straight after high school, okay? Every single other state that I know for just a medical assistant program. Let's not talk about neurological developmental disabilities and mental health. Just your regular run-of-the-mill medical assistant program. At the very minimum, at least lasts a month. At least lasts a month. Then they have to do clinical hours in more than one place. In my state, you have to handle clinical hours plus additional training at night. I've looked into this, obviously, for at least 2 to 3 to sometimes even 6 months further. And if you want to specialize, especially to serve a specific population, such as neurodevelopmental disability folks or folks who have mental illness, well, guess what? Then, after you do your clinical hours, your ass goes back into training for another 3 to 6 months. This is a joke, Judge. A joke, and a bad one. And when you have badly trained staff that are thrown into a culture of paranoia, fear, and torture, guess what's going to happen, Judge? Shit like the August 26, 2007 incident. Moving on, to ensure the safety of the JRC students. That is garbage, Judge, and you know it. You know it. Judge, do you authorize your police officers in the state of Massachusetts to be able to use stun guns on people who could cause actual, real physical harm to the people around them? Do you allow and write off for those cops to use a stun gun that works off of more than 4 to 5 milliamps? Answer me honestly now. Because if you don't, that means you literally think less of people with disabilities than you do the rights of your common criminal. Let me say that again. That means you believe more in the rights of your common criminal, more in the rights of your pedophiles and rapists and serial killers than you do law-abiding people with disabilities. I said what I said. Okay, let's move further. It appears to this monitor that dedicated efforts have been made to learn from the August 2007 incident and assure it is never repeated. Oh no, Judge. Those dedicated efforts were made in order to cover their ass. That not if, but when, or probably already has happened, an incident like the August 2007 issue that popped up, they can cover it up so that the public doesn't know about it. Spare me. JRC and its staff are to be commended for this. They shouldn't be commended for shit, Judge. They belong behind bars. At the very least, their staff should be banned from working in any medical field capacity or mental health issues capacity anywhere in the world ever, period. Their licenses should be completely yanked, certifications completely destroyed, and they should never, ever be allowed to work in this field where there are vulnerable people in their power ever again. Ever again. I'm just saying. There are additional steps that the JRC should take to further protect its students. You really think they care about their students? That's cute, Judge. That's real cute. No, Judge, they're just like you. All they care about is the dollar signs and that they are controlling, quote unquote, monsters who refuse to conform to their insanity. Moving on. Nothing in this report is meant to indicate a belief that all potential safety issues are foreseeable or preventable, particularly given to the unpredictable nature of the issues that the students at JRC face. Oh, here we go. We're going to victim blame again. See, we're out of control. That's what they want you to think. That we are completely out of control. And we are out of control to the point that they have to use abuse and torture in order to get us in line. Think about that. Think really hard on that. How many abusive parents have used those exact same sort of lines? However, they don't get a free pass. Yet somehow the JRC does. However, the monitor believes that the additional recommendations can assist JRC in maintaining the safest environment possible. You gave them nothing, Judge. This is a long bullshit report of nothing. You gave them air, Judge. Air. If the JRC actually wanted to reform and become something that could actually assist the people that they supposedly care so much about, then they would remove all aversive therapies, every last single one of them, including the GED, including starvation, including these god awful psychotic behavioral lessons in all forms of ABA from their program. Period. Bye bye. See ya later. Now that would create the safest environment possible. Moving on. Furthermore, nothing in this report is intended to suggest an opinion on the part of the monitor on the use of the GED aversive treatments, for or against, and nothing in this report should be taken as a recommendation on the appropriateness of the use of GEDs at the JRC. I don't know, Judge. You seem to be arguing for our torture rather hard through the entirety of this whole report. You have acted like it is acceptable to treat us like less than animals for the entirety of the whole goddamn report. And here at the end, now you're going to argue the fact of your biased nature? Sorry, Judge. I read this whole goddamn thing. None of us who have gone through these videos are buying it. Spare me. It is your job as a judge to take a look at this situation and determine what could prevent something like this from happening in the future. And whether you like it or not, Judge, the use of the GEDs and their so-called appropriateness is by and large the gigantic elephant that is braying in the room that you refuse to look at, plug your ears, and whistle Dixie tunes. Just saying. The Monitor looks forward to working with JRC and the appropriate authorities to conduct future quarterly reviews, observe, and report on JRC's continued progress. So 1 minute you're going to tell me you're non-biased. The next minute you're going to tell me how much you look forward to the JRC lining your pockets in order to continue to assist them on how to cover up their crimes against humanity that they conduct against human beings, vulnerable human beings, and their power every single day. So, all I have to say is your name, Judge, is not the Honorable Isaac Bernstein, retired. Independent Monitor of Counsel, my ass. You are the dishonorable Isaac Bernstein. So, in conclusion, folks, let's wrap this up here. This judge has done nothing other than to give suggestions on how this school can better cover its ass and continue forward within the parameters of barbaric laws that continue to torture, traumatize, and instill fear into a vulnerable population into infinity within the parameters of these freaking laws. It is a joke, a PR stunt, and it has failed badly. The fact that we read through this whole thing and to think that this judge just may be a reflection of a lot of the majority of the judges that are in Massachusetts, it's stunning, it's shocking, and it is completely horrifying. Completely horrifying that those people who hold such levels of power to make decisions over disabled people can act in this manner and do so without blinking. Folks, it is our job to expose and shine a light into the darkest areas in the world. This is one of the darkest holes you are going to find that is still in existence, that is still operating in spite of 6 people losing their lives because of these places that the JRC rules over. It is our job to expose the judges, the professionals, the legislators, and yes, even the parents who defend, continue to support, and push forward this place and actually fight on the side of the JRC for the horror, the cruelty, and the torture to continue after over 36 years. So share these videos. Join the fight. Go on Autistic Hoya's massive archive, linked there in the description box. Share the links. Share the victims' stories. Share the court cases. Help us expose these people for who they are so that we, as the public, will use our collective power all over the globe to demand a reckoning for the 6 dead victims and the living victims that have survived that place, and for the victims that are still trapped inside, and for the young people with disabilities and mental issues who are now in danger and fear of being sent to this place. We must expose the corruption, the lies, the greed, so that this place can become a dark footnote in history. And on those words, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out on this video. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So folks, please don't forget to hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this afternoon. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.